Gwe Ipjilidak. Bonjour, bienvenue, hello, and welcome once again to the beautiful Rath Eastlink Community Center, the Community Credit Union Arena in the lovely town of Truro, Nova Scotia. My name is Michael Petter. This is AO Live, and this is a Petter Sports and Streaming production of the 2025 Nova Scotia Under-16 AAA Provincial Championship Tournament here from the Rath Eastlink Community Center. Before we go any further in our pre-game, we must take a moment to acknowledge that the Rath Eastlink Community Center itself, the entire town of Truro, and the entire region covered by the Nova Scotia Under-16 AAA Hockey League, which not only includes all of Nova Scotia, but also includes all of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island as well, all lies within the ancestral and unceded territory of Mi'kmaq. And as you see the names on your screen, the game here is going to be the Basin Armada, coming in with a record of 0-2, taking on the Fundy Thunder, who have a record of 1-2. Both of these teams still alive, looking for a berth in tomorrow's championship game, but they both need to win this game and will need some help for other games to go their way in order for them to get a chance to get into that championship game tomorrow. For the Armada, this is their third game of the tournament. As we mentioned, they are 0-2. For the Thunder, this is their fourth and final round robin game. And if they want to have one more game tomorrow, they need the win in this one, and they need other things to go their way in the last two games later today. Let's take a look at how things have gone so far in the tournament. Kings opening the tournament yesterday morning with a 4-1 victory over the Thunder. That was followed up by the Voyageurs defeating the Basin Armada 3-0. Highlanders and Kings played in overtime in the third game of the day yesterday. Highlanders getting the 3-2 victory there. Then it was the Thunder over the Voyageurs by a score of 4-2. Day one wrapped up with the Highlanders beating the Armada 5-1. We were back at it at 10 o'clock this morning. The Highlanders going to 3-0 on the tournament. They already have a spot booked in tomorrow's championship game after that 3-2 victory over the Thunder. The Voyageurs in the game that just wrapped up previously with a 4-3 victory over the Kings Hockey Club. So the standings as of right now, up to the minute, Highlanders in first place with a 3-0 record. They have clinched a spot in the championship game tomorrow. Voyageurs sit in second with a record of 2-1. The Kings sit in third with a record of 1-2, but one of their two losses coming in overtime. So they have a slight edge on the Fundy Thunder, who are also 1-2. And then the Armada at 0-2. They are the last team to play their third game, and they will look to get to 1-2 to try and climb towards a 500 mark. For the Kings, it's going to be Sullivan Sherry getting the start in goal. The Kings are for the Armada, it is Sullivan Sherry getting the start in goal. The Armada will be the visiting team for the purposes of this game. Sherry so far in the tournament 0-1 with a 3.0 goals against average and a .750 save percentage as he stopped 9 of the 12 shots that he faced in that first game. It's going to be Ryland Surrett getting the start for the Thunder. We'll run you through his numbers after the pregame introductions.
Traditional unceded territory of Mi'kmaq people. Today's game will be between the home team Fundy Thunder and the visitors at Basin Armada. We would like to welcome Team 8 skaters for the Fundy Thunder, Grayson Codger of the South Colchester Intermediate Elks. The seventh skater for the Basin Armada is Bo Boyle of the South Colchester Intermediate Elks. Welcome. For those who are able, please stand and remove your caps for playing the volcano.
right, we've talked about the starting goaltender for the Basin Armada. Once again, that is Sullivan Sherry. Let's take a look at the starting goaltender for the Fundy Thunder, who are the home team for this game. It is Rylan Surrett getting the start. He's 1-0 in this tournament, a 1.0 goals against average, and a very, very good .960 save percentage as he stopped 24 of 25 shots in his only game so far. And there you see Sullivan Sherry. We've already given you his numbers. Sherry ready to go for the Basin Armada. Armada, again, are the visiting team for this game and will defend the net to your broadcast left for the first and third periods. Armada in their road navy blue with the teal and light blue and red trim. The Fundy Thunder in their home whites with the blue, black, and gray trim. And we are underway here at the Rath Eastlink Community Center. Puck dumped in, Rylan Surrett out of his net to play it. He'll settle it for his captain, Daniel Vandenberg, excuse me. Vandenberg's clearing attempt knocked down by Reynolds. Now Anderson will try the near side. Has a little bit better luck as Boudreau couldn't keep the puck in the zone. McCormick back to get it for the Armada, plays it quickly ahead for Reynolds, and Reynolds will work it down into the corner on the near side. Vandenberg getting to that puck just ahead of him. Schlender also in there on the forecheck. McCormick gets on that puck. He'll play it around to the far side. Anderson will win the race to that one and play it ahead down the length of the ice, and it's going to go right onto the target, so Sherry has to steer it aside for Boudreau, and obviously that negates any icing. Puck not touched by any of the Fundy Thunder players right in front of their bench there, just to make sure that it wasn't going to be a too many players penalty. It looked like the change was coming pretty smooth anyway, but not taking any chances, nor should they. Now the puck cleared down the ice again. Makinen back to get it. He was chased by Pugsley. Makinen gets the puck back out to center ice. Cooper Singer will back up with it now. Take a look and find a lane to dump it deep into the Armada zone. Sherry out of his net settles it there for Hum. Hum pressured by Uloth. Puck will end up in the feet of Pugsley. He couldn't find it. Burgess got a stick on it. Tried to get it to Porter. Now Hum has it. He'll play it around to the near side. Out of the reach of Makinen. It'll come up the wall to Conlon. Conlon plays it ahead to Burgess. And Burgess able to find Porter in the middle of the ice, who's got some room to skate. Here comes Porter. Cutting to the outside. Porter! And he looked to play it for a deflection for Conlon, I think. And that pass ended up just missing the target. Now back around to the far corner. Porter gets it behind the net to Conlon. Conlon trying to come out for the wraparound, and getting over to deny him that lane was Ryan McDonald. Now Hickey with the puck. He'll get the shot off. Surrett makes the save and quickly bounces on top of the puck to get a face-off with 1:58 gone here in the first period of play. And just a quick reminder, we do try to be a little bit interactive here with our broadcasts when we're here on Petter Sports and Streaming, as we have 3 different ways that you can try to reach us. Go to x.com, that app that we used to know as Twitter. You can reach us through that at my handle there, which is PETTERPC_sports. That's PETTERPC_sports. You can also reach us through facebook.com. Look for Petter Sports and Streaming, where the and is the ampersand, not the word and. Or you can get us through MJAHL Network, mjahlnetwork.proboards.com. Look for the section marked all other levels of hockey, and then find the post marked NSU16AAA Provincials, and you can share your thoughts there as well. We get a stoppage, and Surrett covering up the puck. 2:34 gone in the first period of play. And if you're looking at the clock and going, we just started, how could there only be 2:34 gone and only 12:26 left, when throughout the regular season games were 20 minutes, 3 20-minute periods? Here at this tournament, it's 2 15s and then a 20, as all games playing under the, the U15 major timing formula, which is 2 15s and a 20 with a flood only between the second and third periods, just to try and save a little bit of time. 2 hours the time slots for each game, so we try and speed things up a little bit that way. But every game is played under the same timing, so no advantage to any particular team as a result of those changes. Icing the call against the Armada, and it'll go all the way back down into the Basin zone. And we'll get the stoppage and the face-off. Maidment to take this draw against Thorne. Thorne wins it back for Paris. Paris not able to hold it onside, however, so he has to come back out to center. Bassel pressuring him there. Played across for Wyatt McDonald. He'll get it over to Dwaron on the near side, across for White. White plays it deep into the Armada zone, getting to it first. There was the defenseman for the Armada who had not played yet in this tournament. He wasn't here yesterday, and that's Simonson. And of course, I was using yesterday's list to just set up my game sheet for today. Simonson making his first appearance of this tournament as the captain back in the lineup for the Armada. He missed yesterday. There you see the captain. I don't know, he must have had a big test or something at school. Couldn't get away from school for the day. The teacher in me, if that is the reason he wasn't there, the teacher in me approves. The hockey fan in me goes, come on, it's hockey. Here's George with the puck now. His shot hits bodies in front. Schlender will get it out to center ice. Anderson backs up to get the puck. He'll play it across to the near side. Vandenberg played it ahead. I don't think McCauley got a piece of the puck. He did not. And so we will get the icing call against the Fundy Thunder here with 3:55 gone in the period. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's Espen Simonson. And if I'm mispronouncing the name and it should be Simonson, I do apologize. I will never intentionally get a player's name wrong, but if I do get it wrong, I gave you those methods to get in touch with me. Send me a correction if I am saying a name incorrectly. We're going to get a penalty to Cooper Makinen here, and it's going to be a head contact penalty with 4:15 gone in the first period. And unfortunately, I couldn't quite see the referee's fingers. It was a 2 or a 4 that he put up there for the head contact. It is just a 2-minute head contact penalty against Cooper Makinen. So first power play of the game for the Fundy Thunder, and the Thunder so far 0 for 8 on the power play in this tournament. Tied for 4th on power play efficiency out of the 5 teams at 0%. Obviously not the kind of number they want to have, but they'll have a chance to try and improve it here. Here comes Mathis George coming up through center. We'll talk about the Armada's penalty kill numbers. And now that we've got a little bit of time as the puck cleared down the ice again, the Armada just 2 for 7 killing penalties so far. 5 power play goals against in their 2 games yesterday. Obviously, that's an area where they need to improve. At 28.6% penalty kill, 28.6% a good power play percentage, but definitely something that the Armada need to improve upon on their penalty kill. Penalty kill in this game so far, though, looking good, as the Thunder have yet to be able to get set up in the offensive zone. Now we'll get an offside as Mathis George trying to keep the puck in the Basin Armada end. Couldn't quite do so. The puck came out to center and then goes back in again. And so we'll get the offside against the Thunder. 9:47 left to go first period. 1:02 remaining here in the power play for Fundy. Their first man advantage of the afternoon. Burgess making sure Simonson's lined up where he wants him to be. And how about that face-off win by Burgess? He told Simonson where to stand. He put the puck right onto Simonson's stick. And then Simonson went to launch it down the ice, put it into the Fundy Thunder bench. And a bit of a discussion to see who touched it last. And the referee indicating, looked like he was pointing, and it's going to go all the way back down into the Armada zone as Simonson's shot out ended up going right into the bench, says the referee. So the face-off will move into the zone that he shot the puck from, which was inside his own blue line. Boudreau loses the puck there. There's a chance for Thorne, and keeping the short side closed up was Sullivan Sherry. Great save made there by Sherry. Unfortunately, I was too slow to react to hit the replay button. We won't get a chance to look at that one again. Got to send a shout out again to Dixon Cho for setting up our instant replay, but I got to be quick enough to remember to press the button to keep the clip that I want to show the replay of. Armada now in the Thunder zone while on the penalty kill. That puck, though, intercepted by Paris. He'll get it out. Long lead pass for Pugsley. Just 10 seconds left the power play. There's a shot deflected off the blocker of Sherry. Now Burgess will get it back out to center. Burgess gives to McDonald. That being Carson McDonald, one of 3 players with that surname in this game. 2 of them for the Thunder, as well as Carson McDonald. Here comes Thorne now. Thorne with a shot. Sherry, the blocker, save, excuse me. Puck cleared as far as the line. Singer gloves that down, but then the next player to touch it was Henry Thorne, and so that's going to be an offside call, or not an offside, excuse me, a hand pass call against the Fundy Thunder. 8:31 left to go here in the first period. Face-off will be just outside the Basin Armada blue line. O'Neill wins the draw. Puck will come back to Cooper Singer. Singer gains the red line, dumps the puck in as he takes a bump from MJ Bottomley. Played into the near side corner. Bottomley hustling back to get on it. He'll wrap it around the boards to the far side for Hickey. Hickey, long lead pass, connects with Damchik, but Damchik couldn't quite maintain control. Damchik has to chase it down in the corner. He takes a couple of bumps there from Singer. Puck ends up on the stick of Hayden Dwaron. He'll get it ahead to White, who gets it out to center, but it's then turned over and played right back towards the Thunder blue line. O'Neill will get it across to Ryan McDonald. McDonald near side for Singer. Plays ahead now to Dwaron. Dwaron trying to find an entry lane. Has the puck knocked off his stick by Henry. Now it comes to O'Neill. He's got an entry. Was looking for Ryan McDonald, but that pass gets beyond him. And now Bottomley coming the other way. He's got Damchik trailing. Bottomley makes the move. And the save made there by Ryland Surrett. MJ Bottomley with a nifty little move there to get out around Ryan McDonald. Now a centering pass for Quinn, but the puck rolls off of Quinn's stick. Simonson steps up, gets on the puck, tried to get it to Quinn. Quinn had it for a moment, but now it's worked back out to center, and Simonson has to back up with it. 7:13 left to go, first period. Ahead for Quinn. Quinn's pass out of the reach of Maidment. It'll come down into the near side corner. Vandenberg, he'll play it around the wall, intended for George, but Quinn gets to that puck ahead of him. Quinn, sharp angle shot. Surrett makes the save. And let's take another look at that first team all-star and league top forward, MJ Bottomley, and his nifty little move as he got around the defense. Here's the pass ahead, first off to Bottomley. And gets that nifty little move there to get around, but by the time he finished the move, he didn't have a whole lot of room left to try and get a move around Surrett. Now here's Dawson McCauley. His puck goes off the backside of Simonson, ends up right on McCauley's stick again. That shot goes wide, short side. Out to center, Vandenberg will play it back in. It comes off the boards to Simonson. He plays it to the near side. Cooper Makinen gets it ahead. Now Maidment takes a bump from George, but maintains control of the puck. Fires a shot just wide of the net. It'll come all the way up to the line. Bassel gets there in time to play it down low again, all the way to the near corner. Maidment playing it into some open ice, but it's right where Dawson McCauley was waiting for it. McCauley chopped it out to center, sent back in, delayed offside. That'll give Daniel Vandenberg a little bit of time to start working his way ahead with the puck. Here comes the Fundy Thunder captain through center. We've talked about it a few times through this tournament. The stanchions in this building are crazier than maybe any other building in hockey right now. And I am not overstating it when I say that. And you saw it right there, a crazy bounce off a stanchion, almost resulting in a goal for the Fundy Thunder. We're going to get an icing call against Fundy here with 5:31 left. And Sullivan Sherry nearly got caught, which in any other building and he's having a little chat with the ref right now about that one. You know that's what that conversation was about. Sherry probably saying to the ref, I can't believe it took that weird of a bounce. And the ref, well, we know that's one thing about this building. You're going to see those crazy hops, especially when a puck is played off the glass. You can never be 100% sure where a puck is going to go when it comes off the glass here in this building. Boudreau chops it down into the corner. McCormick and Uloth battling there. McCormick will come away with the puck. He takes a hit from Wyatt McDonald. Schlender will come over and pick up the loose puck that was created. Schlender has it knocked off his stick by Eisner. Now McCormick and Uloth go into the corner. McCormick able to kick the puck up to his stick, trying to create some space. Uloth staying right with him, though. Now Uloth gets on the puck. He'll play it ahead for Pugsley. Pugsley had a piece of that puck, but not enough to get it under control and get what could have been a partial breakaway against Boudreau. Now McCormick trying to clear his own zone. He couldn't. Hum following up on the play. He'll get it out to center, and Schlender will dump it down. Ryland Surrett out of his net. Settles the puck there. And Paris will play it back over to Wyatt McDonald, who will carry ahead. Cross-ice pass broken up off the skate of Burgess. It ends up with Paris, however, and Paris will then gain the red line, dump it down. Sherry out of his net to play it this time, and then coughs it up to Cogger. Jacob Cogger. Back to the line for Ryan McDonald. Not quite able to hold the puck onside. And let's see if I hit the button in time to get a check on that to see if it did stay onside or not. Comes back to the line, and yes, you can see a little bit of white there as that puck did just come out of the zone. It was very, very close, but it was an offside indeed against the Fundy Thunder there. Great eyes by the official. How about that? Now here comes Conlon. 4 minutes left to go, first period. Conlon looking to get it to Burgess. It goes to Henry instead. Henry with the shot. That goes up into the boards. And Ben Henry, the defenseman for the Basin Armada, has the only goal that they have scored in this tournament so far. 85 shots that the Basin Armada have taken in their 2 games, and they've scored 1 goal. And it was that guy right there, Ben Henry, who scored it. He'll play it over to Hickey on the near side. Hickey ahead for Conlon. Conlon, pass across, goes off the skate of Porter. And then sent back the other way by Ryan McDonald. Race to get to it, and Dwaron gets possession. He's got White heading to the front of the net. Dwaron will carry it up towards the top of the zone, however. Now he'll take a look. Play it down the wall to Singer. Singer's shot goes off a stick and gets cleared away by the Armada out to center ice. Anderson plays it off the wall. It'll end up with McDonald, and as Carson McDonald, my apologies, had to make an extra little move at the blue line there, we do get an offside call against the Armada. 2:57 left to go in the opening period here between the host and home team, Fundy Thunder, and visitors and visiting team in this tournament. One of the 4 visiting teams to come here to the beautiful town of Truro for this tournament, the Basin Armada. Here with the puck is Ethan Daly. Daly plays it ahead for George. George up to McCauley. McCauley back for George. There's a shot. That goes wide. Puck will come up the wall to Vandenberg. His shot goes off the skate of Damchik to the near boards. Simonson trying to get it past Vandenberg. Vandenberg works it back down the boards to George. George for McCauley. McCauley has that one go off his stick down into the far corner. Makinen takes McCauley down. George will come over, pick up the loose puck, play it out for Daly. But Daly had Bottomley and McDonald on him and couldn't get a shot away. Now McDonald coming the other way. Carson McDonald all the way into the corner. Tries to get the puck to the front of the net. It goes off of Vandenberg. Vandenberg will find George, and George will get it back out to center ice. Damchik backing up with it. 2:10 left to go here, first period. Puck picked up by George. George, though, has it stolen from him by Simonson. Now a little bit of you take it, I got it, as the puck was up around the shoulders of a couple of players. It hit upper bodies of a few of them. Now it's back on the ice. Eisner has it chopped away from him, and now Vandenberg will flip it up into the air. Bouncing puck goes through Quinn. Boudreau can't get it past George, if I could speak English. Now here comes Quinn back the other way. Quinn, backhand, blocked by Uloth. Paris and Quinn go down in the corner while the puck goes around to the far side. Bassel able to get onto it for the Armada. Bassel taken to the wall by Wyatt McDonald. In there is Maidment for help. And as Maidment brings it to the front of the net, Surrett able to find it and cover up and hang on for a face-off. We get a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle, but cooler heads quickly do prevail. And we'll get a stoppage with 1:23 left to go in the first period of game number 8. Hard to believe we're already at the 8th game of the tournament. Hard to believe as well we're already at the last round robin game for the Fundy Thunder. I mean, we just started yesterday morning at 10 a.m. But when you get 5 games a day and you're halfway through the second day, that's how quickly this tournament is going. Here's Pugsley with the puck now. And again, both of these teams come into this game with 2 losses. A third loss for either of them will eliminate them. And a tie won't do either of them any good either. A win is needed by whichever team gets the win to stay alive. Whichever team does not get the win will be eliminated. And that includes if both of them don't get a win. Bassel throws it towards the front of the net. Surrett is there and covers up and hangs on for a faceoff. 37.4 seconds left. Got to give I think I gave this shout out already, but just in case I didn't, I got to give a shout out again to Dixon Cho for helping set up the instant replay for us here. The software that we use to do our streaming here through AO Live, produced by Petter Sports and Streaming, has been a program called OBS for quite a while, but Dixon helped set up a new thing within OBS that we were able to get replays going, and I really do appreciate all the work that he did to make that happen. Here's Henry with the puck now. Cleared out to center, 10 seconds left in the first period. Here comes McCormick. McCormick loses it, but following up on the play was Reynolds, and the puck ends up in the net. I didn't see exactly how it happened, but that's what the replay button is for. Let's see if we can get an idea here. Still can't really tell how exactly it happened, but with 0.5 seconds left to go in the first period, the Basin Armada with the goal. And are they going to talk it over for a possible goaltender interference? Is that what Ryland Surrett is arguing for here? And we're going to have a conversation here at the Fundy Thunder bench. I don't know that they're going to change the officials' minds at this point. Ryland Surrett certainly not happy. You don't often hear a goal announced with the time of 14:59 and a half, but that's what the time of that goal was. And so we get to the end of the first period with the Basin Armada leading 1-0, and now after the period comes to an end, Hayden Dwaron will take a penalty. And it's a 10-minute misconduct to Hayden Dwaron for his attempted irritation of the Basin Armada. So he'll miss 2/3 of the second period to serve that 10-minute misconduct. Armada outshoot the Thunder 7-2 in the first period. But the only goal coming at 14:59 and a half for the Basin Armada. It is Campbell Schlender getting his first goal, second point of the tournament, his team's second goal. And again, they now have, they were at 80, I want to say 85 or 86 shots yesterday, and just the one goal scored. 7 shots today, so that's 92 shots on goal and 2 goals. And we get the announcement of the penalty. So your first period summary, the 1 goal scored that we just gave you, again, it came at 19:59 and a half. Campbell Schlender. I just about said Easton Schlender, but that's the older brother, if I remember correctly. The assist going to Benjamin McCormick. That's the lone goal. 1 minor penalty and 1 misconduct call. The minor penalty went against the Armada. Thunder are 0 for 1 on the power play. The Armada do not have a power play advantage as of yet in this game. Thunder took that misconduct right at the end of the period. Shots on goal, as we mentioned, favor the Basin Armada 7-2 in the opening period of play. Here's Burgess with the puck. Tries to get it across for Conlon. That's deflected, but it goes right to Cooper Makinen. Makinen puts the shot towards the net. Makinen, if I remember correctly, also a younger brother of a player who did pretty well for the Halifax McDonald's U18 program, if I remember right. Or maybe Makinen's older brother played for Steel Subaru. Now I've gone and started doubting myself. And Duncan's no help. He's looking and goes, I don't remember either. So I do remember both Makinen and Schlender with older brothers. Schlender played definitely for the Max. And Makinen, I was pretty sure played for the Max as well, but now I'm doubting myself. Maybe it was Steel Subaru. Yes, it was Steel Subaru, because I'll tell the story about how I remember this now at the next stoppage in play, but Cooper Makinen's older brother definitely played for Steel Subaru. Here's Singer with the puck. Getting it to the front of the net, but Uloth with the deflection there, and I'm sure somebody on one of the social media sites that I mentioned screaming at me, yes, it was Steel for sure, as we get an offside. So at the Nova Scotia U18 Hockey League had its own sort of showcase weekend at the Wellness Center a couple of years ago, and Makinen, and I can't remember his first name, and I'm so sorry that I can't, but Cooper Makinen's older brother got his first goal of the season at the Wellness Center, and then he got his second goal at the Wellness Center for Steel Subaru against the Weeks, and then he got his third goal of the season at the Wellness Center against the Weeks, and he only ended up with 3 goals that regular season. It was his first year playing U18, and all 3 goals were at the Wellness Center, 2 of the 3 against the Weeks Majors. And I remember that now. That's going back a couple of years, and I'm pretty sure that is Cooper's older brother. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that aspect too, if they're cousins and not brothers or not related, but I'm pretty sure they are. Now here's Damchik with the puck. Damchik loses it as O'Neill was able to kick the puck away. Now we'll get an offside as was that offside, or did the puck end up coming up and catching a Basin Armada player on the bench? Either way, we get the stoppage with 1:53 gone in the second period. And don't mind my brain going off on little trips on its own without me. It happens all the time. One of these years, my brain's going to go to the Bahamas, and it's actually going to take my body with it. Thorne now, sharp angle shot. And Sullivan Sherry had that door well closed off. Bassel working his way down the ice, able to get past Eisner. Bassel gets it to Quinn. And whoa! Quinn had that puck roll off of his stick. If he's able to get a better shot away there, it's 2-0. But the puck just rolling off of Quinn's stick at the last second. Here we see the rush ahead. And the puck played over to Quinn. Quinn just not quite able to get it under control enough. And Ryland Surrett able to dive on top of that puck and make the save, keeping it a 1-goal game. Henry trying to work it down low. That's intercepted by Thorne, as Henry of the last name gets intercepted by Henry of the first name. Okay, I'm a little punchy here, I think. I'm getting all kinds of weirds coming out. Hickey with the puck now. He'll play it ahead for Quinn. Quinn couldn't do much with that one. It ends up on the stick of Carter Anderson. He'll play it around behind the net over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg being watched by Maidment, plays it off the glass and out to center it goes. Hops past Henry. Henry able to recover enough, but now Thorne able to pick up the puck. He'll get a shot away, and Sherry makes the save. Thorne turns and tries to fire again. That goes off of Hickey and in behind the net. Hickey picks up there. Plays it over into the corner. Thorne will win the race to the puck. He gets taken to the wall, but over to help is White. White had to play it back to Vandenberg, who was outside the zone. And then as Vandenberg dumps it back in, Hickey picks up. He'll give to Henry on the near side. Henry flips out to center. Mathis George can't knock that one down. Maidment went to drop it to Bassel, but Bassel ended up being outside the blue line when he got possession. Now George with the steal. Here comes Mathis George coming in. George with a tuck around, and he scores! What a goal by Mathis George. Sullivan Sherry trying to argue that he kept it out over the line. And George was the first one to call the goal. Let's take another look. Here we see George getting the steal from Bassel. George coming in, tucks it around. We lose sight of the puck. George points into the net first, and then the referee follows and says, yep, it's a goal. And at 3:31 of the second period, Mathis George gets his fifth point of the tournament, moving him into the lead in the tournament in points with 5. There are several players who have 4 points. Mathis George becoming the first one to get a 5th point in this tournament. And then they follow up with another one. And it's going to be Cooper Singer. No, it's Mathis. It is Cooper Singer this time getting that one. I was looking down to double check and confirm that nobody else had 5 points yet as I was going through my sheet. And Cooper Singer, let's take another look at that one because I didn't even see it happen. Dawson McCauley plays it towards the front of the net. It gets deflected. A swing and a miss by one Thunder player. But Singer following up and gets the shot on target. And 2 goals in 22 seconds for the Thunder. And a 1-0 deficit becomes a 2-1 lead. Cooper Singer with his first goal and first point of the tournament. So again, Mathis George, 4th goal, 5th point, unassisted at 3:31. Cooper Singer, first goal, first point, waiting for the announcement of the assists at 3:53. 2 goals in 22 seconds. They announced the assists as McDonald and George. I'm sure it was McCauley and George. Having watched the replay, it was definitely McCauley who played that puck to where Cooper Singer got the shot away. Puck comes up to Boudreau. He'll feed it to Reynolds. Reynolds coming through center. His attempted pass for Schlender broken up by Paris. Now played out to center, intended for Pugsley, a little too far for him. Hum will send it back the other way, and that will miss everybody and go down for an icing. 5:06 gone here in the second period. Let's take another look again. I just want to double check and see. Whoop. Shoot, I just hit the wrong button. We won't see it again. Sorry. I hit the button to record a replay, not to look at the replay a second time. And so now that one's lost to us forever. There's Cogger with a shot right off of the draw. And Sullivan Sherry able to get in front of that one. Another shot. And Sherry steers that aside. Now McClellan, excuse me. But he couldn't get a shot away. Schlender able to get the puck, and he'll send it down the length of the ice. It's steered over into the corner. Burgess in there battling with Vandenberg. Now Henry will get to it at the wall. Battle along the boards. And Cogger will get it out down the ice. Hickey back to pick up. 9:18 left to go, second period. Henry coming up through center. Henry His pass broken up by Anderson. Henry still back on the puck. Now he'll play it back to Conlon. Conlon tried to make a centering pass for Porter, broken up by O'Neill. Now it's picked up by Burgess. He sends it into the traffic in front. They jam away at it, and finding it and covering up is Ryland Surrett. And another look at this chance here for the Basin Armada. The initial shot into the traffic there, they jam away at it a few times, but Ryland Surrett able to find it, cover up, and hang on for a stoppage. 8:56 left to go here, second period. Thunder with the 2-1 lead. Thunder 1-2 coming into this game. Armada 0-2. White chops at the puck, not able to get it by Porter. It comes to the line for Hickey. His shot deflected off the stick of Thorne down into the far corner. Conlon able to get away from Singer. Now Conlon will play it back to the line for Henry. Across to Hickey on the near side. Hickey's shot goes off of White into the far boards. Cooper Singer will play it off the wall and out to center. Burgess knocks that down. And across quickly for Porter, right back into the Thunder zone. Porter gets taken off the puck by Ryan McDonald. He'll play it around for Cooper Singer. And Singer will flip it ahead. White getting a piece of that puck. It's down into the Armada end. Hickey sending it back up the other way for Bottomley, but Bottomley has it knocked away from him by McDonald. Now Simonson will pick up. He'll back up with it. Play it ahead, just out of the reach of Bottomley. And that's going to be an icing call against the Armada here with 8:02 remaining in the second period. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, sorry, I saw that I got a message on Facebook. I thought it might be a message about the game. It was my family chat, so never mind. It's all good. They know I'm busy. But it's the family chat, so it wasn't really meant for me anyway. Here's George with the puck now. George cuts to the outside, gets around Simonson. George coming in, gets a shot away. Sherry the save. And Damchik will clear the rebound away from the front into the corner. Now Bottomley. Pass for Carson McDonald, a bit behind him. Getting to it is Wyatt McDonald, and he'll play it ahead for George, who then dumps it the rest of the way down the ice. Makinen around the wall to Bottomley. Bottomley chops at it. Paris holds it in. Daly will send it back down into the corner. Simonson will get to it there. Brings it back up through the middle of the ice, and here comes Espen Simonson. His pass for McDonald. Simonson gets to the puck. Centering pass for Bottomley, but it's a bit behind him. And Dawson McCauley wins the race to the puck. Pass ahead intended for George. Makinen gets just enough of that puck that George can't take it cleanly. Now Damchik back in his own zone. Gets it ahead for Bottomley. Under 7 minutes left to go, second period. Here comes MJ Bottomley. Through center. The league's top forward. Tries to get a shot away. It gets blocked. Now Hum has to wait for everybody to get back onside. Dumps the puck in. Armada touch up. Maidment able to get in there quickly. Now Pugsley has the puck at the near wall. He'll play it across for Eisner, who's got a little bit of space, but Eisner has to go over and chase down the puck. Ahead for Pugsley. That goes off of his leg, and it ends up with Boudreau. Boudreau coming into the Thunder end. Gets a shot off, and that goes off of Vandenberg wide of the net. Boudreau chases it down behind the net. Across to Bassel in the corner to the top of the zone. Quinn back down to Bassel again. Bassel plays it into the middle of the net, of the zone rather. And cleared out. Now Hum off the wall. Quinn will pick up. Quinn fires a shot wide far side, and it'll go all the way around the boards to the Armada blue line. Henry playing it back ahead for Bassel. Bassel comes in, gets a shot away. The save made right off of the face mask of Ryland Surrett. Now Hickey has that puck get away from him. Pugsley on it, but Hickey recovers nicely. Tries to play it ahead for Quinn. That's broken up by O'Neill. Now the puck does get to Quinn. He'll play it over for Henry, And Henry will carry ahead through and dump the puck down into the near side corner right at the Zamboni doors here at the Rath Eastlink Community Center. Sent back around to the far side. Cooper Singer will pick up. Lead pass for McLennan. That goes off his skate and ends up right on the stick of Henry, who gets it ahead to Quinn. Quinn in across the line, gives to Maidment. Maidment for Bassel. Bassel couldn't take the pass cleanly, and Cooper Singer able to pick up for the Thunder. Has his stick knocked out of his hands, and will have a penalty coming up here against the Armada, as Cooper Singer's stick slashed right out of his hand. And so we'll get an Armada penalty with 5:02 left to go. And for the Basin Armada, maybe a little bit of good luck on that penalty, if you can ever say there's good luck on a penalty, because if that penalty came 2 seconds later, Dawson McCauley gets to be a part of the power play. But he still has 2 seconds left on his 10-minute misconduct. So if there is a stoppage early in this power play, then, it's not McCauley, it's Dwaron, excuse me. Still, Hayden Dwaron, who also does get power play time, not available unless we get a stoppage, or until we get a stoppage, I should say. Here's Mathis George with the puck now. He gives to Daly. Daly's shot, and I believe that may have gone off of Schlender before going into the end boards. Now Eisner cycles it down. Daly will pick up in the corner. Plays it behind the net to McCauley. Again, it is Dwaron in on that misconduct, not McCauley. Here's Eisner now to Vandenberg. Vandenberg back over to Eisner. Across for George. George recovers, gets the shot off, and the save made. And the rebound cleared out to center ice. 1:15 to go in the power play. Dumped right into the near side corner. George will get there first ahead of Simonson. Pass across, comes off the wall. Eisner couldn't get a stick on it, and McCormick will bring it out to center and dump it down right onto Ryland Surrett, who steers it over to the corner. Vandenberg picks up, takes it behind the net. We're into the second minute of the man advantage for the Fundy Thunder, their second power play of the game. Here's Ethan Daly working down the left wing side against Boudreau. Boudreau able to get the steal. Can't clear the zone, however, as George was able to get to the puck before it crossed the blue line. George with the shot. Save made. Rebound. Picked up by McCauley. Down to George. Look to get it out front. Cleared away from the front of the net, but it's held in at the blue line by McClellan. He'll play it around to the near side for Mathis George. George to McCauley for Daly. Ethan Daly gives to George. George takes a look, pulls the toe drag, plays it back to Paris. Across, one-time shot by McLennan. I think that hit Boudreau. And the rebound cleared away down the length of the ice by Conlon. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Maidment for slashing. Here's Pugsley with the puck. He'll start the rush up ice. Cole Pugsley still with it. Pugsley, the sharp angle shot. Sullivan Sherry, the save, And we are back to 5-on-5. And Hayden Dwaron did indeed miss the entire power play, as there wasn't a whistle through those whole 2 minutes. Puck cleared up ice, gathered up by Henry. Ahead for Conlon. He plays it to the near side for Simonson. Simonson to the net. Save made by Surrett. Now Hickey with it at the line. His shot into the traffic in front, blocked by Vandenberg. And that'll be cleared away and out to center ice. 2:24 to go, second period. Fundy Thunder ahead of the Basin Armada by a margin of 2-1. Here comes Henry. Ben Henry down into the corner. Centering pass for Burgess. He's tied up by White, and the puck will come to the near wall, and the first one to it will be Caden Paris coming in all the way into the Armada zone. Fires a shot. Sherry the save. Cogger tried to play it to the front of the net. Nobody in white was there. Puck is deflected to Paris. His shot goes wide, and now Porter chips it off the wall out to center. Simonson will pick up there. Simonson gets around Vandenberg. Simonson coming in, and the save made on the chance by the Basin Armada captain. But equal to the task is Ryland Surrett. Now Mäkinen with the puck. Cooper Mäkinen. Shot, save, rebound is right there. And it's cleared away from the front of the net by Thorne. Now O'Neill trying to get a step. But Boudreau and Burgess, between the two of them, were able to slow up Damon O'Neill enough that he could not get towards the net with the puck. O'Neill able to win it back. Tries to play it to Pugsley. That's broken up by Mäkinen. Mäkinen, though, has his pocket picked by Uloth. Uloth trying to head to the net. Gets a backhand shot away. Save made by Sherry. Burgess in the corner. He'll play it up the wall. Ryan McDonald stepping down, getting to it, but Porter able to play it. And now Bottomley looking to clear the zone. Gives the puck to Boudreau, as we've now played more than 4 straight minutes without a stoppage in play. And the 10-minute misconduct has now become 14 minutes, and nearly a goal there for the Armada, as looking for the top corner, but just getting a piece of that one was Ryland Surratt. Now a shot into the traffic in front. Puck picked up by Damchik. It's poked away from him, and Pugsley will come back out. He'll give to Eisner. Hickey gets to the puck below his own goal line, plays it up the wall to Bottomley. He'll get it out to center. Backing up with it is Ryan McDonald, taking a look as Damchik is watching him. McDonald goes cross ice for Eisner, but Hum gets to that puck just ahead of him. Eisner back on it again. Now Bottomley with the steal, and he'll come out with 15 seconds left in the period. Bottomley trying to get past Singer. They both end up getting into the linesperson. And the linesperson did everything in his power to try and get out of the way. Not going to fault him. The officials are part of the play. And we finally do get to the end of the period. A much better period for the Fundy Thunder as they end up out shooting the Basin Armada by a margin of 11-7. The two-period total favors the Armada still, but now it's only 14-13. And 2 goals in that period, both scored by the Thunder, coming just 22 seconds apart. It was Mathis George with his 4th, and then Cooper Singer with his 1st, to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead for the Thunder heading into the second intermission. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, get you ready for the third period in just a few minutes. You are watching the Nova Scotia Under-16 AAA Provincial Championship Tournament here from the Rath Eastlink Community Centre in Truro on AO Live, produced by Petter Sports and Streaming. add that one to my list of errors. Welcome back as we get ready for the start of the third period. I was supposed to put that tournament sponsors graphic up at the beginning of the intermission. I apologize to all of the sponsors for that error. And we'll just leave it up for an extra few seconds here now as give everybody a chance to read all of those names. And it was commented on during the opening ceremonies last night, but it bears repeating here during the broadcast. Events like this cannot happen without corporate sponsorship and without the great business community. So we want to thank all of those corporate sponsors. And as you look down the list and see who all has been involved in helping to make this tournament happen, we really do thank everybody who has been involved on the corporate sponsorship side. Your support is incredibly valued and appreciated. And now as we get the teams back out onto the ice for the third period, for the Fundy Thunder, this might be their last period of the tournament, depending on how things play out. For the Basin Armada, they've got one more game left against the Kings Hockey Club. That'll be the 6 o'clock game. We also have our 4 o'clock game still to come. That's the Highlanders and the Voyageurs. Highlanders go into that game knowing that they've already clinched a spot in the championship game, and the Voyageurs knowing that they can clinch a spot in that championship game as well with a victory. As the third period gets underway, and right off the bat we get an icing call just 8 seconds in, so a quick stoppage there, and we'll take it all the way back down into the Fundy Thunder zone. For the Thunder, this is their last game of the round robin. They need a win, and then they need some help. They need a win, and then they would need the Highlanders to beat the Voyageurs. They would need Armada to beat the Kings, and they would then also need tiebreakers to go their way. So a lot to, as there's right off the, what a shot and what a goal. As Sam Bassel able to fire that one in past Ryland Surratt. And we're all tied up at 2. Puck work down low. Bassel gets some empty space right by the face-off dot. Puck is played out to him. He comes towards the hash marks, gets the shot away. And I just heard the announcement, and I want to apologize if I have been saying his name wrong and if it should be Basil and not Bassel. Again, I will never get a player's name incorrect out of malice or ill will, but I'm going to go with the pronunciation that that was used here in the building. First goal, first point of the tournament for Sam Basil, assisted by Luke Maidmont and Brendan Quinn at 35 seconds of the period. And now we're going to get a slashing penalty against, looks like it's Trent Uloth who's going to go off. So the Thunder will go shorthanded for the first time in this game. The Armada will get their first power play of the afternoon on the slashing penalty by Trent Uloth. The Armada 0 for 5 so far on the power play in this tournament, so they are tied with the Fundy Thunder at 0%, so 4th and 5th tie there. And the Thunder on the penalty kill, they've killed off 8 out of 11 of their shorthanded situations, so that works out to 72.7%, which is good for 4th of the 5 teams on penalty kills in this tournament so far. Here's Burgess coming in. Save made by Surrett. Vandenberg gets on that puck. He'll wrap it around the glass. Held in at the line by Simonson. Over to the near side, Boudreau. Cogger almost able to get on the puck, but his stick ended up breaking as he took a whack at it. So now Cogger grabbing some fresh lumber from Caden Paris. And the puck cleared down the length of the ice this time by Brody McLennan. Cogger will head off and hand the stick back over to Paris, and he'll get a fresh stick of his own here coming up in a moment. Still 53 seconds left in the power play for the Armada, but right now they're hemmed in their own zone. Now Hickey will get it to Damchik, and Damchik will come out with it. Damchik down towards the corner. Still on the puck. Able to avoid the worst of the hit from Carter Anderson, then drops it off for Hickey. Hickey gives to McDonald, out for Bottomley, and there's a shot by MJ Bottomley. That goes wide. Hickey back on the puck on the far wall. To Bottomley at the near point. Bottomley plays it down into the corner. It goes off the blade of the stick of Cogger. That's still laying out there. Now Hickey back to the line. Damchik, his shot. Blocker save made by Surrett. Played to the front of the net for Hickey. And Rylan Surrett able to get out of the crowd that was sitting right in front of him and make the save. And now we're going to get penalties given to Carter Anderson and Carson McDonald. And they're both going to get unsportsmanlike, so it's going to stay 5-on-4 here. But the coincidental penalties to Anderson and McDonald for unsportsmanlike as they were jawing at each other and jawing at each other. Finally, the ref said enough is enough. And so we'll get those two sitting for 2+. Well, they'll then have to wait for a whistle. Time in those penalties, 3:05 of the third period. We're back to 5-on-5. Henry with the puck. Circles back, plays it to Hickey at the far point. Down the wall for Damchik, but Damchik had a couple of white jerseys right around him, and the puck is turned over. Now played around to the near side. Daly will use the wall to try to get it out of the zone, but Bottomley keeps the puck onside. Now Uloth does get it to the line and out. Bottomley trying to get back on it, but it's pushed down the ice, and Simonson will go back and get it. Quickly plays it ahead for Damchik. That pass doesn't connect, and it's going to be Bottomley getting to the puck first as it takes a bounce right to him off the end boards. Bottomley around behind the net, now plays it back to the line. Makinen back down to Bottomley at the hash marks. Bottomley out in front. Simonson with a shot, and the save made by Caden Paris as he got down in front of that puck and blocked it right with his chest. Dwyron dumps it in as he takes a hit from Hum. Just about 4.5 minutes gone here, third period, tied up at 2 goals apiece. Battle in the corner, referee yelling at them to move it. Finally blows it down and says enough is enough. And we'll get the stoppage. 4:33 gone, third period. Thunder 2, Armada 2. For both of these teams, they need a win. A tie will eliminate them both. So both of these teams have to play for a win. And of course there is overtime, and an OT win, I think, will be enough to keep them alive. There's a shot, kick save made by Sherry. Puck comes to Singer. His shot blocked by Makinen. And now Quinn will come out with the puck. He'll play it ahead for Basil. Or Basil, excuse me. Put the accent on the right syllable. And that's a joke at me, at my expense, not at Basil's expense. My inability to get the accent on the right syllable the first time around. The first bunch of times around. George now fights through a little bit of traffic, gets a little bit of space now, gives the puck to Dwaron. Hayden Dwaron, who missed the entire second period, serving a 10-minute misconduct that ended up lasting the full 15 minutes because we didn't have a whistle for the entire last 5:02 of the second period. So he's got some comparatively fresh legs. I say comparatively because for the Thunder, they're playing their fourth game of the tournament. So, and their first game was 10 o'clock yesterday morning, so it's 4 games in, 28 hours? Of course, by the time the last game wraps up, everybody will be in the same boat. There's Reynolds with the puck now. He'll dump it in. Into the corner, comes off to Vandenberg. He'll launch it out. Henry picks up in his own zone. Henry ahead for Reynolds. Reynolds had trouble finding the puck, finally does, and it's dumped down. Vandenberg rifling it around the boards. Past Boudreau and down the ice it goes, and we'll get an icing call with 13:19 left to go here, third period. 2-2 the score. Fundy Thunder, Basin Armada. Both of these teams come into the game with 2 losses. Thunder are 1-2, Armada 0-2. A third loss will eliminate them from contention for playing in tomorrow's championship game. Here's Reynolds, and a save made by Ryland Surratt. Puck comes to the slot. McCauley there to get it, and he'll clear it away out to center. And if the game ends in a tie, that will also eliminate them from contention. It'll eliminate both teams from contention if the game ends in a tie, actually. And games can end in ties at this tournament. The way the rules are written, we've had one game go to overtime. It lasted just 28 seconds. So we know games can go to overtime. We've seen it happen. Plus, we have the rule book right in front of us here as far as that aspect goes. A 5-minute overtime. There is no shootout in the round robin. So if a game ends the 5-minute overtime tied, then it stays a tie. But as we mentioned, for both of these teams, a tie will not suffice. They have to get a win in order to keep their hopes alive. Then they also have to get some help. As the puck ends up just touching the stick of either McCauley or Daly. I couldn't tell for sure which one it hit, but it did just touch one of those 2 sticks of those 2 players who were standing on the bench. So we get the stoppage there. Now here's O'Neill off of the draw, able to bring the puck ahead. Sends it towards the net. Sherry will steer it into the near corner. Cogger takes a hit from Boudreau there. Conlon on the puck now at the near wall. Puck comes loose to Cogger. He tries to get it to the front of the net. It's deflected up into the air. Comes down for Ryan McDonald. He tries to get it to the front of the net, but it goes off of Porter. Now Ryan McDonald back on it again. He'll wrap it around the boards. It'll come up all the way to Conlon, who's able to come out. He'll give it to Burgess, but a nice play on the back check there by McLennan. Now Conlon with a shot. The save made by Surratt, and O'Neill will pick up the rebound and then go the other way. Plays it off the wall to get it around Simonson. To McLennan, there's a shot and a save made by Sherry. Played out to center. Here comes Conlon. Conlon loses the puck to Paris. Nice defensive play by Paris. Quick lead pass for O'Neill. O'Neill tried to get it to McLennan, but that was deflected away, and Cogger couldn't reach it before it got out of the zone. Damchik now with a shot, steered away by Surratt. Damchik gets to it at the far wall, plays it down into the corner for McDonald. Carson McDonald comes to the near side, plays the puck back to the line for Hum. Hum with a shot through the traffic. Bottomley picks up the rebound, tries the wraparound, and I'm not sure who got in front of that puck as Bottomley attempted the wraparound. Now Hum, his shot blocked by Cogger as Cogger's stick goes flying. Jacob Cogger nearly losing a second stick in the same game. Mom and Dad wouldn't have been too happy about that, I'm sure. It happens, but obviously not something you ever want to have to deal with, a couple of broken sticks in the same game. Now Anderson plays it up the wall. Hum holds in at the line, gives to Mäkinen on the near side. Mäkinen plays it down into the corner. Damchik not able to get the puck as Vandenberg got there. Uloth sends it as far as the line. Mäkinen holding it onside again. Now he'll work his way down towards the corner. Protects the puck as Uloth takes him to the wall. Damchik also in there. Vandenberg as well, as the four of them battle for the puck. Referee yells at them to move it. It does come free. Damchik will come away with it. Sends it towards the net. Blocker save made by Surrett. And Carson McDonald will send it back around to the near side where we'll start it all over again. Damchik trying to get away from the crowd. He gets it to Carson McDonald. McDonald back to the line for Hum. Hum gives to the near side. Mäkinen at the point. Mäkinen, a couple of attempts at a toe drag, couldn't get the puck to move. Finally does get it down into the corner. Now Bottomley to Damchik. Damchik trying to go cross crease with the pass, but it's cleared away from the front of the net by Eisner. Shot taken from the line, blocked by Vandenberg. Puck will come back to the line again to Mäkinen. He'll carry it all the way down into the corner, tries a centering pass. Uloth gets a piece of that one, then Uloth gets taken into the net by Mäkinen, and Mäkinen ends up back on the puck again. 9:37 left to go, third period. Great pressure on this shift by the Armada as they have got the Thunder hemmed in their own zone. Uloth now gets the puck to the line, and it comes out as Hickey tried to kick it forward, but it bounces free. Pugsley will come out. The rest of the Thunder changing. Pugsley by himself kills off enough time to get the rest of the Thunder to get some fresh legs out there. Now here comes Dwaron into the zone. Dwaron heading towards the net, gets it to Thorne! And Henry Thorne with the easy tap in as he was on the backside of the crease. And it's now 3-2. Here we see Dwaron get the puck, waits for everybody to get onside, brings it into the zone, sends the puck towards the net, and Thorne there for the quick tap in with 9:04 to go, and the Fundy Thunder back in front. It's now 3-2 for Henry Thorne, his first goal, first point of the tournament. Hayden Dwaron with an assist. And that is a huge goal for the Thunder and their chances in this tournament. They need to win to stay alive, and then they'll need some help. And they need the tiebreakers to go the right way. And I don't have the tiebreaker rules in front of me, so I can't tell you for sure what they are. There's Maidment with a shot. As we still await the announcement of the goal, we know Hayden Dwaron will get the first assist. Just have to wait and double check if there was a second assist on that one. Basil can't get the puck past Daly. Daly will send it back in deep. Cole Pugsley does get the second assist on that one. I thought he might, but I just wanted to wait and get confirmation of that. So Henry Thorne, first goal, first point of the tournament from Hayden Dwaron and Cole Pugsley. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 56 seconds of the third period, making it 3-2 for the Thunder. And again, Thunder need to win, and then they need some other games to go their way, and they need the tiebreakers to be in the right order for them. And I don't have the tiebreaker list in front of me, so I can't say with certainty what the situation is, but it all starts first. They have to get the win. Then we look at the results need to go their way in other games. Then we got to look at, do the tiebreakers play out their way? Here's Mathis George with the puck now. George working against Mäkinen. George still on it. Gets it to Daly. There's a shot and a nice save off the toe by Sherry. Now a shot by Vandenberg. Ethan Daly with a great move to get around Cooper Makinen and then makes the nice pass to get the puck back to George for the shot. Or sorry, other way around. George with the nice play to get around Makinen and then the pass back to Daly to get the nice shot off. And the toe save made by Sullivan Sherry to keep his team within one. Conlon now. Back to the line for Hum. Hum with the shot. That goes high. Puck will come up the wall. Cogger can't clear the zone as Burgess holds it onside. Now the Thunder back on it again. Carter Anderson carries out to center. Anderson across the blue line. Anderson has that shot go off of Hum. O'Neill trying to step to the puck. It gets poked past him, but then McLennan able to keep it onside and get it down to O'Neill. O'Neill behind the net now uses the back of the net to try and maintain control of the puck. As we got players falling all over the place. You got Hum down, Burgess slipped. O'Neill nearly got knocked over. Now Porter coming the other way. Puck is loose at center ice. Burgess gets it over to Porter. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the third period. Puck settled behind the net. Vandenberg gets it to the far wall. Porter is the first one there. He'll get taken into the boards by Anderson. Burgess and Vandenberg, or Burgess and Uloth, excuse me, now. Now Uloth able to get the puck ahead to McLennan. McLennan will get it out to center, but Henry turns it right back the other way again. 5:08 and counting left to go, third period. Fundy Thunder with the all-important one-goal lead. That puck ends up hitting Damchuk, and so it'll come back down into the Fundy end with exactly 5 minutes left to go. Let's take another look at that play a few moments ago. As you see Mathis George with a nice cut to the outside. Makinen slowed him up just enough, but then the pass out for Daly, and Daly with the nice shot. And Sullivan Sherry able to get the foot out to make the save and hang on for a stoppage. 5 minutes remaining here, third period. 3-2, Thunder lead the Armada. Puck played as far as the Armada line. Now another puck that ends up hitting a player on a bench, and so we'll get another stoppage with 4:50 remaining in the third period. And the face-off will be once again right outside the Fundy Thunder blue line, right in front of the Fundy Thunder bench. Eisner off of the face-off, flips it ahead, intended for Pugsley. Pugsley has it go off his skate. I don't think he realized that that was where the puck was going. Now here's MJ Bottomley. Bottomley gets the shot away. It was partially blocked, and by the time it got to Surratt, didn't have a lot of speed on it. There's another shot by Bottomley. That one goes up into the glass. Henry down low to Damchuk. Damchuk centering pass ends up on McDonald's stick. And McDonald with the shot, but it's deflected into the end glass as well. Now Damchuk back on it. Tried to make a pass, but that was blocked. Puck will come to Henry. Henry loses his footing, and that will allow for a chance coming the other way. Here comes Cole Pugsley trying to get around Hickey. Hickey able to take Pugsley down cleanly and then get the puck back over to Henry. Long lead pass for Bottomley. It goes off of his leg, and Dwaron will pick up. Here's Hayden Dwaron in across the line. Fires a shot, and Sullivan Sherry with the save, and he'll hang on for a stoppage. 3:53 left to go, third period. Fundy Thunder ahead by a goal. Basin Armada in danger of dropping to 0-3 on the tournament. Fundy Thunder looking to try and get up to 2-2, and then they'll have to wait again, depending on if other results go their way and if the tiebreakers work in their favor. There's a shot and no options for any sort of a rebound there as Ryland Surratt took that one right into the breadbasket and made sure it wasn't going to go anywhere else. Great control right into the crest on the jersey of Ryland Surratt. Puck cleared to the line, not out. Boudreau, excuse me. Don't know where I got Beliveau from. There's no Belivos in this tournament anywhere. Here's Dawson McCauley now. McCauley's with shot. And Sullivan Sherry says, hey, you got good rebound control down at that end. I can have just as good of rebound control. And shows it there with a nice save. Hangs on for a face-off. 3:24 remaining third period. As 3:24 might as well be an hour and a half in some ways. But in other ways, for the Basin Armada, I'm sure it feels like it's only a blink of the eye left to go, as they need to get a game-tying goal. For the Thunder, that clock cannot wind down fast enough. Basil trying to poke the puck ahead, able to bring it in across the line with the shot and the save made there by Ryland Surrett. Now coming the other way, but the pass intercepted by Makinen. He'll send it back deep into the Fundy zone. Vandenberg plays it up the wall. McCauley able to chop it out to center. Hum chases it down at his own blue line, plays it back up the other way, picked up by Quinn. And trying to head towards the net with it there was Basil. Now down the other way, all the way deep into the Basin Armada end. Picked up by McCauley. Tries to send it towards the net. That's blocked by Hum. Now it comes out to center. Anderson sends it right back in again. Now with it, Schlender. He'll play the puck forward, race to get to it. Anderson gets there just ahead of McCormick. Comes up the wall. Reynolds down to Schlender. Schlender with the shot, blocked by Vandenberg. And Vandenberg will send it back out to center ice. Hickey back on it. He'll give to Henry. 2 minutes left to go, third period. McCormick, as out of the net for the extra attacker is Sullivan Sherry. 6-on-5. Puck comes to Conlon, just coming onto the ice as the extra attacker. And his shot not quite able to get through. Now, Cogger sends it down into the Armada zone. Henry back to get it. 1:37 left. Pass ahead for Schlender. Schlender gets it across the line. Sent towards the net. There's a save made by Surrett, and the puck will be cleared down the ice. Icing is indicated, but right now, Damon O'Neill leading the race to get to that puck. He will get there first, but won't be able to get it to the front of the net, as Hickey was able to get it away from him. Now Henry across to McCormick. 72 seconds left. McCormick sends it down into the corner. Singer will ring it around the wall. It comes out to center. Porter able to get to it. Pugsley in pressuring into the final minute. Porter gets the puck back. Lead pass. Conlon quickly gets it over to Hum. Hum has it knocked off his stick by Eisner. McCormick brings it across the line. Delayed offside. Cleared down the ice and just wide of the net. And that's going to be an icing call with 43.9 seconds left to go here in the third period. Fundy Thunder were that close to sealing the game with the empty net goal, but just off the outside of the net, so it's an icing instead. McDonald takes the puck to the corner, trying to kill off the time. Damchik with it. He'll send it to Porter. Porter down to the corner for Burgess. Burgess sharp angle shot. And the save made by Surrett. And he will make sure there's no second chance there, as we see this puck get down to the corner. And the sharp angle shot from Burgess. Surrett making sure that it doesn't get through to Hum, who was sitting on the back door waiting to try and get a rebound to pop in. Off of the faceoff, Anderson will get the puck down the ice, will get another icing, but at least a few more seconds will have ticked away. If you're looking at it from a Fundy Thunder perspective, they'll take those icings right now. Every time there is an icing, a couple more seconds just chip off of that clock. We're now down to 22.1. The Basin Armada need a goal to tie it up and force overtime. Puck gets to the line, held in by Makinen. Now Boudreau trying to get it to McDonald. Here's Bottomley with a shot, and it's blocked by Vandenberg. Deflects up over the glass and out of play, and we'll get another stoppage with 9.2 seconds left. Daniel Vandenberg with a huge block there to make sure that his team holds that lead. Puck goes down into the corner. Anderson just trying to tie it up. It gets towards the side of the net. Boudreau turns, shoots, it's blocked, and the Fundy Thunder get the 3-2 victory, and their hopes stay alive a little bit longer here at the U16 AAA Provincial Championship Tournament. Now they need to become cheerleaders, and they need the next 2 games to go the right way for them, and they need help with the tiebreakers as well. For the Basin Armada, they still have 1 game left, but they know that they are mathematically eliminated. Armada outshoot the Thunder 17-10 in that third period. They outshoot the Thunder overall 31-23. But the more important numbers are 3 and 2, and that is the final score in favor of the Fundy Thunder over the Basin Armada here in this one. As we await the announcement of the players of the game. And a challenging decision for both of these teams. A lot of players who played incredibly well on both sides through the whole game. As we await the announcement of those players of the game. And not quite sure what the delay is here to get those players of the game, but while we wait, here we go.
Great top concession player of the game for the Basin Armada, number 11, Owen Reynolds.
And it is Owen Reynolds who is player of the game for the Armada. And for the Fundy Thunder, possibly Ryland Surrett, 29 saves on 31 shots. You might look at Henry Thorne, the game-winning goal. Or Cooper Singer, who got his first goal of the tournament as well. Singer, an AP call-up for the Thunder this season and has been a big part of the team since joining as an AP, and congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Thunder on a big 3-2 victory. That's going to do it for us here for this one. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes time for our next game, which will be the Highlanders and the Voyageurs. Until then, on behalf of my awesome cameraman, Duncan McLean, and the rest of our crew here, Ashton and Chris and Mike, this is Michael Petter saying, may your skates always be sharp, may your shots always hit the top shelf. Final score, one last time, Thunder with the 3-2 victory over the Armada. Oh, I missed one part of my final sign-off. Elbows up, Canada. Here we go. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.